Hey, this is Anthony from RevZilla TV. We can watch, decide, and ride. Welcome to our detailed breakdown of the new Klim Badlands Jacket, available at RevZilla.com. Brand new from Klim, standing on the shoulders of the Badlands Pro. This is the latest evolution. This is the Klim Badlands. Now, new for 2015, we've seen them take it to the next level and really refine what they've done so well with a bomb-proof 4-season technical shell meant to take a beating and continue to keep you safe and comfortable. Now, if we look at it from a style standpoint, it has been refined a hair over the previous Badlands version. And when we think about the cost, you're really only incrementally going up $50. But let me tell you the 3 key changes between the Badlands and the Badlands Pro, which came before it, which really make that additional $50 in this $900 to $1,000 range seem almost inconsequential. And remember, if you're investing here, you're going apex predator. This is the top of the food chain. This is a bomb-proof, ride it around the world jacket with armor, with the benefit of Gore-Tex that's really gonna keep you safe and keep you comfy. Now, the 3 key changes are as such. The first is you're seeing super fabric all over this bad boy. Super fabric in the shoulder, super fabric in the elbow and the forearms. This is going to be that highest degree of abrasion resistance over top of the molecular armor D3O that's baked into this jacket. We'll get to the armor in a second. But if we look at it, remember, super fabric, which is really on top of this, it's part of this talisman material, tiny laser welded ceramic plates that are then bonded to Armacore, which you do see throughout. Armacore is going to be this ripstop fabric. Armacore is aramid infused Cordura. So again, it's Kevlar woven with Cordura, with ripstop, with super fabric on top. And remember, super fabric's going to have that durability quality that's going to be that 10 to 14x over what you typically get from an abrasion resistance standpoint from leather. So that's big upgrade number 1, super fabric everywhere, replacing regular Armacore. Big upgrade number 2 is the comfort factor, and there are 3 things they changed within this comfort realm here. The first one is this jacket is 1.5 pounds lighter than the previous Badlands Pro, and they've done that by beefing up your impact areas and actually going to an 840D Cordura in your non-impact areas. So you're gonna see it, it's a little less crunchy, it's a little less stiff, it's a little softer, maybe between the shoulder and the elbow. Again, they've lightened the load here. So that 1.5 pounds on a day long of riding, you're going to feel that. The other things they did from a comfort standpoint was they've trimmed and tailored the arm a little bit. It still carries the same size chart, and the fit's gonna be decidedly American. We're gonna talk a little bit about fit in a second here, but again, compared to something like the Revit Dominator, which is that more Euro fit, this guy's gonna have the room in the shoulders, have the room in the adjustability in the body, but those arms were a little baggy before. They've trimmed them down. The third thing they've changed on the comfort side of thing is the collar. A lot of gripes around this height of that collar on the previous version for a lot of guys. Maybe we're riding 3-season warm weather. Now they've trimmed it down, given you a roll at the top that's a little bit more comfortable. But again, they've changed the way the collar functions. We're going to talk about the loop back here in a second. The last big change, if you're really comparing this to the previous Badlands Pro, is the venting scheme. Now again, you had 8 vents on the previous version, and with those 8 vents open, you're going to circulate a ton of air, especially if you're riding, you're working hard on the bike, you're riding through the summertime of the year. What they've done here is they've moved the vents, they've made the vents more functional, and they've added 2 more. So 10 total vents, and the new vents are going to be right here on the sides of the chest, and they're positioned to catch the wind as it comes around the windscreen on your 12GS, on your KTM 990, or 1190 rather. And again, if we look here, we now have bicep vents, which are still going to be that AquaGuard. Again, they're using YKK Vislon and AquaGuard zippers throughout, but you're also going to see the way the venting has come together. They're using these military style stamped steel G-hooks, again, with webbing. So now you have the ability to hold these open. So remember, 2 vents on the chest that are new and additional. You have the new flaps across the bicep vents. You still have your wrist, and there are 2 vents along the back. You're also going to see that underneath the arms, if Hi-Vis Brian raised his arm here, you can now use these vents while you're riding the bike. They don't go up and under the armpit. Your side vents are actually going to come into play without getting on the bike. They're much more reachable. You also know that Klim has upgraded all the zipper pulls in this jacket that now have a TPU versus your regular old stitching. So that's really your 3 key changes. There's a lot of other jacket we're going to walk through, but remember, ventilation for hot weather riding, a little bit trimmer from a comfort standpoint, and it's going to be a much lighter jacket. And then again, that super fabric Armacore baked into that talisman material really takes the abrasion resistance to that next level. Now, before we walk through all the other nuances of this jacket, remember, this is the Hi-Vis version. Hi-Vis Brian, you're going to have the black and the silver coming into play, and there's also the matching pant that he's wearing. Keep in mind the fit side of this jacket. This is going to be what I consider American cut. Hi-Vis Brian, 6 foot 195, 42-inch chest, athletic build. He's wearing a size large. He has his base layer on and a t-shirt underneath this. So remember, Klim doesn't do thermals, and the waterproof breathability of Gore Pro is baked in here. So again, bring your own base layers, no base layers in the summer, maybe just a wicking base, or your mid layer as you move into the cooler times of the year, but he's going to be wearing a size large, and you get a gauge of his dimensions. Now we see the pants on him that are adjustable at the waist as well. Remember, he's about a 35-inch belly button waist, about a 33-inch in jeans. He's wearing a size 34 in the pants, and watch a detailed breakdown video we do have on the Badlands Pant on their own, but it's important to note that these pants are going to have adjustability, and they do come in tall sizes. Most guys that are going to invest in the Badlands are going to want to go for that full outfit because you're getting this level of technicality on your upper body. You're going to want to complement it on your lower body as well. Now, keep in mind, we're going to ship for free over 39 bucks. We're happy to walk you through the sizing over the phone if you're a little bit concerned, but even more so, click our logo, subscribe to us at RevZilla TV on our YouTube channel. I'd love to hear your comments, your questions, and your feedback on the new Badlands jacket from Klim, the evolution of the Badlands Pro, and hear what you think about the changes they made. Now, let's take a step back from it. Let's work through the complete nuance of the jacket here from start to finish. Remember, your 4-season shell, we talked about the venting. Gore Pro means that the Gore-Tex liner is actually laminated to the material. It's non-removable, waterproof, breathable, guaranteed for life. It's going to allow your perspiration with all those zippers to close, if you're working on the bike, to work its way out through the outer shell. That is a key feature. You're investing in Gore-Tex here. It is the gold standard, and it is guaranteed. We talk about some of the other materials. We talked about Talisman. We talked about the 840D Cordura. You've heard me talk about Armacore, which you can see in all of these ripstop areas. The outer shell is going to be beefy. Talking about protection, they've stayed with the same protection they had on the previous Badlands Pro, and that's going to be your D30 T5 Evo XT. It's a medium width D30. Some D30, that Zergo, is super, super thick. Some D30 you see is much, much lighter weight. This is the mid-range. It's temperature stable. That's that XT, but it is beefed up. It exceeds that CE rating. It's molecular. It becomes rigid upon impact, and it is ventilated. Again, this is a shoulder. This is designed to be comfortable when you're wearing it, and upon the introduction of force, all the molecules bond together. They create that lattice structure, disperse that energy, and lengthen the time of impact and the transference of shock. So again, the upgraded D30 here in the T5 Evo XT. The nice part is it comes in the shoulders, it comes in the elbows and forearms, but you're also getting that Viper level CE2 or CE2 level in the back, and that's coming stock here. So you're getting the full armor complement, including the full CE level 2 back. And again, you see that on the Klim Rally jacket, which is the big brother. It's going to have basically the toolkit attached to it for Dakar. That's very much an overkill jacket in that $1,500 range. But again, it's a big upgrade when you get that CE level 2 back if you're comparing this against something like the Latitude, which has been improved for this year, but again is more of that sport touring multi-season on-road option, whereas this guy you can really take right off the rack, throw it over your base layers, and ride it around the world. Now, if we look at some of the other changes they made here, some of the other nuances in the outer shell, you're going to notice we talked the collar. It's shorter and it's different, and it's a snap and Velcro. So they moved away from Velcro to keep the collar open, and when I open it up, you're going to see that you can snap it back this way. There's a snap there, and you have the ability to pull this down and snap it here as well. But my only gripe with it, as I do this, I'm probably hurting your collarbone there, HVB. My only gripe here is that when I do that, when I start to work it back up, because this is a snap with Velcro, if I was doing that on the bike, if Brian was doing that without looking, it becomes a little bit harder to find. Again, that's one of the trade-offs. That snap is going to be beefy. The snaps here are much more positive. Again, you could wear that Velcro out over the time in the previous version, but again, that's the key improvement they made with the shorter collar. If we also look at the 3M reflective on the outer shell, it's been moved, it's been refined, it's less darts, it's much more tape in this iteration of the Badlands, and again, they're going with that humanoid form. Remember, shoulders, limbs, you're going to see it down towards the bottom of the pants. All that is being done so that when you get hit with a headlight at night and your form lines up, the human eye recognizes the humanoid form differently than just a reflection back. And what somebody's going to say is, that's a person on a bike. They're not going to say, is that a street sign that's reflecting back to me, or I'm not sure what that is. They've done that by design. There's been a lot of testing that Klim has done around that. And again, they're amplifying it here with more 3M reflectives tape. You know, we talked about the zipper pulls and the pockets. Pockets are going to be relatively unchanged over the last version. You even have your spot tracker pocket here. Remember, Remember, these zipper pulls are now TPU, so they are going to be more easily found with a gloved hand. And if we get into our arms here, you're going to notice you still have your cinching down here on the forearm to allow you to tie it together. They've moved this, so it's actually keeping the armor more in place. And you're gonna see this vent. And this is actually one of the things that if we had a slight nitpick on this jacket, we found that we were riding, and again, we were riding with hand guards, we didn't get as much airflow as we were expecting out of this vent down here low on the arm. Again, it's a nice to have, but it's not gonna flow like the chest, it's not gonna flow like the bicep, or really even the back. The other thing that a lot of you folks out there that are riding in this jacket or the previous version are really gonna be attuned to is the fact that they simplified the cuff. It's still comfortable. It's actually been beefed up along the edge, but they got rid of the monkey paw. There used to be a stretched Lycra monkey paw that would allow you to create that positive connection between the jacket and your glove. They found that a lot of guys are really working so hard on the bike and riding through many more of a, call it a warm or a hot weather climate, that people were actually using a seam ripper and removing that monkey paw. That's going away here. I'm actually happy because most customers really weren't that in tune with it, and that just saves you the step of removing it on your own. Now, Hi-Vis Brian, turn and face that away for me. If we get a quick shot of the side here, you're gonna see a few things going on. We've talked about the talisman material with the super fabric. We've talked about the armor, again, that's baked in where it's supposed to be, the lighter weight material in the bicep, and again, you see that G-hook stamped steel, that could be your new nickname, Hi-Vis Brian, stamped steel lining right here along the side, or stamped steel hook that's gonna keep that bicep vent open. But here's something you might miss if you just took a cursory pass. This is actually stretch Gore-Tex right along the back side of the shoulder blade. That stretch Gore-Tex allows for range of motion, it allows for a multitude of riding styles and positions, and again, it doesn't trade off anything by way of the waterproofing element that is bonded to this outer shell. They're using it here, it's stitched in appropriately, it's used judiciously because the stretch Gore-Tex is gonna have a lesser abrasion resistance than some of the other bomb-proof materials, but again, it's wonderfully designed. Stretch Gore-Tex has just been around for a couple years and they're continuing to use it. Now, we did talk earlier briefly about the repositioning of the zipper and how this arm vent works in under the pit. No longer a pit zip, now it's a side vent, a side zip, but the nice part is that Hi-Vis Brian doesn't have to take the jacket off, he doesn't have to get off his bike. Before, it used to come all the way up underneath the arm, it would be hard to reach for it, hard to find it. Now it's in a very, very usable position. And you can see the length of this jacket. The Badlands, again, just like its predecessor, the Badlands Pro, is gonna come all the way down. It's gonna be mid-hip length. It's gonna be that adventure length. Again, tying these materials in as you work your way down with plenty of cinching to go around. Turn backwards for me there, HVB. Now, if we look at the back of the jacket, again, staying in this mid-range section, let's actually look at the zips. The zips are on either side. Again, a little harder to reach if you're on your bike. You might have your friend do it. You might have to step off. But again, these are big, massive zips that open up, and you can see the mesh lining behind it. It's armor core all the way down, armor core across the top, armor core across the back. Again, that aromatic infused, that Kevlar infused Cordura. This is a slide area. A lot of people go down and end up on their back sliding across the road. That's why we're big on back protectors. And you can see the big profile of the D30 Viper CE Level 2 back protector that's gonna come stock. And again, it's going to be molecular. Big reflective tape stripe across the back. If you move your way up to the top, you're gonna see that that collar is still nice and short across the back, just like it was in the front, and you do have the ability to cinch it down if you want a better seal if you start to get rained on. Now, moving down, you're gonna have a rabbit pouch. Again, this whole seat comes down, and it's done in that armor core all the way down in a high abrasion resistant area, almost giving you the turtle shell without the turtle shell here as it works in with the back protector. You're also gonna have a YKK Vislon zipper, 40 centimeters, standardized now. It's not gonna change its length with the size of the jacket on the inside of this jacket, so you're able to then work your jacket to your pants. Now, come back around to the front for me. Quick note on pants before I open this bad boy up. Remember, he's wearing the Badlands Pant. Badlands Pant, price has gone up a little bit. They've evolved this pant as well. You're getting that super fabric, that talisman material. The armor is going to stay the same, and you're getting straps across the back for adjustability. I wanted to call that out. Make sure you watch that detailed breakdown video. Now, we move back up to the jacket itself. Some of the other nuances going to be baked into the internal guts. One thing I didn't talk about when I talked about my armor, if we open it up, you're going to see at the collar here, it's nice and soft. It goes all the way around. Big YKK, oh, I touched your beard, damn it. YKK zip, big Vislon zip that comes all the way down, and you're gonna see they have that waterproof Napoleon pocket, same place as it used to be. When we open it up, you're gonna see now your Dow Deflexion armor, which is a non-molecular armor built for shock absorption and breathability. Now, they have changed it. It used to be one big panel that went all the way across that was connected to one side. Now, what they've done with your Dow Deflexion is you have it on the right breast in a more condensed way, and then your left side goes across the middle of the zipper here. But again, it just sticks out. It's not a big beefy panel that's in the way. It's actually a little bit more tailored. And remember, it's going to be about 1/4 of an inch thick. It has a lot of porousness to it, so air is going to flow completely through it. But again, it's giving you that impact protection across the chest, and it's beefing up the total protection standard for the jacket. Remember, a jacket like this is not meant to plan for the crash. A jacket like this, when you're off-road, when you're going to be dual sport riding, when you're doing a couple days in the wilderness, how many times are you going to fall? This jacket needs to stay intact, stay waterproof, stay with you, be easy to clean, and be comfortable, and that's what this is designed for. This isn't like your sport touring jacket that needs to be when you eventually go down on the road, which is something you're planning to not have happen. This is built to be beat up consistently and for a long period of time. Now, if we look at this side over here, you're going to see that's my pocket to get to my Dow deflection armor. We're also having our grommet, which is going to allow you to put your headphones in and run them up. The thing I love about this is they've extended the area of this Trico liner, which is even softer than the previous version, up around the collar. You can see how it rolls at the top. HVB, you're wearing your mid layer today. And if you open it up on this side, you're going to see, again, they tried to mirror the pockets. Now, scan down for me really quickly. There is a kidney belt that's removable that's going to baked in. And remember, the benefit of the kidney belt is to really create that good posture and kind of aid in support when you're riding. Again, less about carrying a load, much more about supporting your body for a long distance in the saddle and potentially multiple different configurations as you're either standing on the pegs or sitting on the bike. It's going to eliminate fatigue. A lot of adventure riders really welcome the kidney belt. Now, if you open it up, it's fully adjustable. Like I said, it's fully removable, and you can get a good sense of the inside of the jacket, which is your basic antimicrobial mesh. Again, this jacket knows you're going to be sweating in it. Some of the things that are a little harder to see, there's definitely a passport stash pocket that's still baked in. They started with the Adventure Rally 5 years ago. That feature, especially for border crossings, has become welcome to the adventure rider. One last thing that they also changed is that this jacket, many people didn't know before, would take a hydration pouch. It was actually really, really tough to access. Now what they've done is they've made the hydration panel access at the top of the back protector, and it's very, very simple to find when you take the jacket off, as opposed to having to go through 3 layers and get behind the back protector. So again, it's an evolution, not a revolution. Klim really shot it out of a cannon when they did the original Badlands Pro. And remember, this is going to be your bomb-proof baby brother of something like the Adventure Rally, which I'm going to go right out there and say it, for your average adventure rider, even your hardcore adventure rider, the new Klim Rally Jacket is way overkill. And again, $1,500–1,600 bucks. This guy can get you in sub $1,000. There's so many things extremely well. Comes in a Hi-Vis colorway as well as a black, and again, has just enough of that evolution quality to get this over that next hump for protection, for ventilation, for comfort, while carrying that American fit, you know, getting you off-road, really getting you around the world. I would not hesitate, just like I wouldn't from some of our other key manufacturers playing in this pool, but I will go out and say it, with the new Klim Badlands, I would not hesitate to have this be my pick. If I had one jacket to pick and I was going for an extended, fully continent tour, this would be a phenomenal option for that. And again, you're getting all the benefits of the tech, all the benefits of the research, and it's bring your own base layers, so you have the flexibility there. Remember, the next step in your journey is to click right here. Read other hardcore rider reviews of the new Klim Badlands. Watch the detailed breakdown video that I fully decompress the entire new Klim Badlands Pant. Again, you want more than just my cursory pass from this video. And as always, if you want to talk to a gear geek, we're going to be really happy to walk you through the nuance and the fit. See us at RevZilla.com or 877-792-9455. And if you are concerned about fit, we will ship for free, over 39 bucks, certainly for both jacket and pant. Keep that in mind as well. Thanks for watching our detailed breakdown of the new Klim Badlands Jacket. I'm Anthony. Subscribe to us at RevZilla TV. We'll see you next time.